Infusing regional priorities in the Constitution, stakeholders give pointers to key issues of regional growth. Political parties recalibrate ahead of key elections, but candidates to be fielded by the Labour Party have been excluded. We will ask key questions on how the party intends to proceed. Also on Political Update today, new friend, old friends, the gale of defections and the challenge of building the party. We have these and more on the program. I'm Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. Aligning regional priorities for a people-centered constitution is the recommendation by the various geopolitical zones of the country in anticipation of the draft of a new constitution. The Northwest Governors Forum says it is in support of this position constitutional review consultative meeting held in Abuja.
The Northwest Common Position on Constitutional Reform.
This is not just another policy engagement, but a gathering of like minds committed to shaping the future of governance, justice, equity, and inclusive participation of all sections of the country in the decision-making process.
The position of each state.
Participants emphasized that across the Northwest states, conversations have been ongoing from state executive councils to houses of assembly, civil society organizations, and traditional institutions, all aimed at contributing to Nigeria's constitutional review process. Discussions covered state police, fiscal federalism, local government autonomy, judicial and electoral reforms, among other topical issues.
As a region, we are acutely aware of the shared burdens that confront us. Rampant insecurity, youth unemployment, poor infrastructure, underinvestment in agriculture, drug abuse, and the weakening of traditional institutions. These are not problems confined to one state. They are regional in scope and demand regional solutions.
It is now our duty and responsibility to deliver a document that reflects both the wisdom of our region and the urgency of our time.
The Northwest Common Position on Constitutional Reform is expected in a harmonized technical document to be submitted to the 7 governors in the Northwest region, who will review and declare the final Northwest position at a subsequent session.
Meanwhile, the Tinubu administration says it remains committed to equitable distribution of the nation's resources and critical infrastructure across the length and breadth of the country, in line with the renewed Hope agenda. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, stated this at the 2025 dialogue session of the Northern Caucus of the National Forum of Former Legislators, which held in Abuja. He cited ongoing infrastructure projects in northern Nigeria as proof of the administration's commitment to balance national development.
Evident in the deliberate and consistent way in which critical infrastructure projects have been conceived and implemented to connect every state and region, bringing people together, facilitating trade, and encouraging investment. This administration has commenced the 275-kilometer Sokoto-Gusau-Puntua Zaria Road, the 350-kilometer Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Road, the 156-kilometer Zaria-Hunkuri Road, Jimeta Bridge in Adamawa, to mention for the few.
We align to the unifying foundation of our country. This relates to the rotation of power between the North and South. We advocate that the South be allowed to complete their tenure. The forum is of the belief that it will be in the best interest of the North for the incumbent to complete the tenure of the South.
Niger State stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress APC have commended the developmental strides recorded under the Tinubu-led administration and threw their weight behind a second-term bid of the president. This was the outcome of the meeting convened by Governor Muhammadu Umar Bago, attended by the national state public holders, including the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris.
Consensus by the Niger State APC caucus was reached at a meeting organized to review the party's performance, settle unresolved inter-party disputes, preparatory to a successful outing at the upcoming local government council elections. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's endorsement was sequel to the renewed hope initiatives that include livestock development, Nigerian Education Loan Fund, and agricultural revolution, among others.
Every other stakeholder in the party, we've come unanimously to make sure and to reassure the center that Niger State, there is no second party. Niger State is 100% APC, and we are not willing to change. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu is our president.
We are all for APC. We are for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are for our governor here. We have all agreed that we will continue to support the presidency of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we will, God willing, also march with him as he seeks his re-election to his second term.
Our state is witnessing progress, and anybody who does not love progress should please leave us alone. We are APC. We believe in the government of Farmer Umar Mohamed Bago, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given him massive support.
And we have seen what Mr. Governor has been doing, and we have all decided that we should endorse him for a second time. And apart from endorsing him for the second time, we feel what he's doing needs our support.
Now to elections. 3,553,659 eligible voters across 6,987 polling units in 12 states are expected to participate in the forthcoming August 16 by-elections into national and state houses of assembly. A political party that may know its performance even before the election day is the Labour Party. The election umpire INEC has omitted its candidates from the poll sheet. In what many believe is in accordance with the Supreme Court judgment which set aside an appeal court verdict which had recognized the Julius Abure-led National Executive Committee of the party. Joining us now is Prince Kennedy Chigozie Ahanotu, National Youth Leader of the Labour Party. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Nigerians.
Well, let's start this way. It looks to me as if this will be an upset for you. Will your party be fielding anyone next week during the by-elections?
I am confident that Labour Party candidates will be on the ballot before that election. And I think that anything less than that is informing that that election will be a nullity.
What efforts are you making to reach out, to the appropriate authorities, especially in terms of what has happened, the reality of your candidates being omitted from the ballot sheet, and some of the people who actually, some faction of your party actually applauded the Independent National Electoral Commission for that decision?
I think it's an anomaly for those people you referred as faction to be applauding a decision that is illicit in nature, which didn't even favor them. Assuming they refuse to put our candidate on the ballot and put theirs, that is when their applaud and celebration would have been ideal. But this is just like what happened, in the Bible story they told us, where two women are dragging one child. One was saying, divide the child and let's go with different dead bodies. And one said, allow the child to grow. When he grows, he will know the person that gave birth to him. And that is what is happening. People are celebrating something that is uncommon, something that is total rascality. Because INEC have not been able to tell Nigerians why they will not put Labour Party on the ballot. As far as I know, Labour Party is an institution established by law, just like INEC. And the Labour Party deals with INEC. There is no formal communication, and government business is not run by mouth or by addressing press conference. Government process runs with correspondences,
I'm not holding
with evidence. It's evidence-based communication.
All right, Mr. Ahanotu, I'm not holding brief for INEC. Could it be in response to the Supreme Court judgment that did not recognize the Abure-led faction of the party? Since those names were presented by that faction.
I doubt it is not about the Supreme Court judgment, because the Supreme Court judgment came on the 4th of April 2025. On the 5th of April 2025, the Labour Party went ahead and conducted a governorship primary in Anambra State. And INEC were there. They supervised that primary election. Just last month, the same INEC, gave, reluctantly anyway, gave Labour Party the code to upload and make our nomination.
Why did you put the caveat reluctantly?
Yes, because maybe they were thinking whether they should give us or not, and they eventually gave us on the last day. It's against the ethics of this practice. Labour Party is under attack by this current INEC chairman. He has been doing a hanky-panky job, always changing the goalposts at the middle of the game. On the last day, that was when they called Labour Party to come and collect the nomination code. And Barrister Julius Abure and Farouk Omar, who is the national chairman and national secretary of Labour Party, nominated our candidate in Anambra State, Dr. George Moralo, just a month ago. Then is it not embarrassing? And is it not an anomaly that a month after, the same INEC is now saying they cannot field our candidate? Is it that INEC decides to select the candidate they will nominate for Labour Party, or the election that Labour Party should participate in, and the ones they should not participate in? And I think Nigerians should help us ask INEC what he's doing with Labour Party.
Okay, let's ask, the question, since you are in the studio, we'll try and get INEC's reaction as well. So, let's ask now, I asked you earlier at the beginning of the program if you'll be fielding candidates then. What efforts are you making to make sure that these candidates, that have been screened, their names put forward, eventually get to participate in that dance?
The party have written INEC demanding for explanation, and the party will also enforce INEC to do the needful, because INEC is an establishment of law. So we are going to approach the necessary authorities, which INEC is not above. If they feel they are above Labour Party, they are not above the judiciary. So we are taking necessary steps.
If you are talking about the judiciary, is this the same judiciary that perhaps nullified the earlier judgment by the appeal court that recognized your faction?
For benefit of doubt of those who have been receiving the misinterpretation of that judgment is very clear. That judgment did not say Abure is sacked. Abure is no longer the Labour Party chairman. And don't forget, that judgment expressly said that political parties are democracies on their own, that their internal affair, leadership affair, is totally their internal affair. Therefore, they should not be disturbing the time of the court, to begin to look into their affairs, that they should go back home, obey their party constitution. I have it here. The party constitution is very clear that Labour Party should obey their constitution. Members should obey their constitution. And Labour Party had a convention on 27th of March, 2024. That is a decision of the party. And the party is still standing on that decision. So I don't know any other judgment.
Okay, let's come to
sorry, if they feel that Abure have defaulted in terms of obeying the Supreme Court judgment, is it not a good thing for them to approach the court again and prosecute Abure for contempt, and all of us for contempt? So it's very clear.
Okay, let's come to the issue of internal affairs of the party. We saw one of the leaders of your party, at least at the last instance, talking about the 2023 general elections, your presidential candidate, marching with the Nandi Usman-led faction of the party. How do you resolve this, since he also seems to have given his thumbs up to that one, while his vice was seen also sitting with your own faction? How do you resolve this conundrum?
Well, as far as the Labour Party is concerned, we are not interested in who marches to where. And at the last time I checked, Nigeria is not a banana republic, and INEC is an establishment of law. Marching to their office does not change the law. If the whole Nigeria marches to INEC headquarters today and said, remove a president, bring another president, would that be possible? It will not work. There is law, there is a procedure, there is a process, there is a protocol in everything. So anybody that decides to go to, and let me also use this opportunity to say this. It is unfortunate that INEC have left political parties. They are now responding to candidates fielded by the party. It's very, very abnormal. It's illegal. It's unfounded. I can imagine that INEC is now communicating with candidates, members of the party, instead of communicating with the party itself. And that is the height of illegality, and that is the height of rascality by that INEC chairman. So marching to INEC office does not mean anything to us. Anybody can march. But in Labour Party, the high and the small, the mighty and the weak must be on the same table. We don't have any special seat for anybody in the Labour Party. The party is for common people.
Yes,
that's why you have somebody like me in the party.
All right, before I let you go, The former presidential candidate of the PDP formally resigned from the PDP some weeks back. Is your own presidential candidate still with you, matching with somebody else or not?
Well, I don't speak for our 2023 presidential candidate, and the membership for political party is free entry, free exit. So I don't know if he is still with us or if he's not with us, but it is him and his ward chairman and possibly the state chairman of Anambra State that will answer that.
All right, Prince Notu has been with us, is the national youth leader of the Labour Party. We wish you the very best. Hopefully, as you have said, we'll get your candidates on the ballot sheet for the August 16 elections. I hope our efforts are in that direction.
Sure, thank you so much.
All right, that has been a discussion today with the youth leader of the Labour Party. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled on that, on the by-elections. About 3,553,659 eligible voters are to be part of that exercise. Now moving to other parties. Now the national convener of the Coalition of Nigerian Youths in Politics, Nnamdi Ezemagu, says Nigerian youths are ready to work for the African Democratic Congress ADC for identifying with a mobilizer to steer the affairs of youth in the party. Let's take a look at that report.
The Coalition of Nigeria Youth in Politics, COLIPS, is a non-partisan, non-religious, and non-sectorial political movement, and we do not intend to root for or take side with any political divide. It will be a partnership relationship and relationship of mutual benefits across the board. Days of use and dub are over.
We have to make politics not business but a service. And it has to start with the youth wing. And this is what we are here to do. So when it comes to elective and appointed positions in ADC, 40% is reserved for sure, and we are going to fight for it. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Member House of Representatives Leke Abejide has threatened legal action against the Coalition of African Democratic Congress over alleged attempts to hijack the original structures of the party. Addressing party stakeholders in Abuja, Representative Abejide, who is the only elected ADC lawmaker in the National Assembly, rejected the interim National Working Committee of the party while insisting that Ralph Nwos remains the national chairman of the ADC.
As the highest member of the head of African Democratic Party, to challenge the illegality of the current so-called interim national working committee, or the supposed realization of the African Democratic Alliance (NTA) as the original members of African Democratic Party, everything legally possible to take them out of ADC. It is now clear that they fail with the aim of hijacking the party structure, destroying and therefore move away to another political party. There's going to be a new coalition of ADC, PDP, Labour Party, from ordinary members to support President Tinubu for second time. For the naysayers, you are already giving your political grade as you all go into political oblivion after 2027 when the president wins his second.
From the foreign scene, we hear that Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip Pierre, has condemned what he described as vilification of the President of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, by a politically motivated group tacitly supported by the opposition party for its recent visit to the Caribbean country. The Prime Minister, in his state address on the country's 2025 Emancipation Day, came down hard on those vilifying the recent visit of President Tinubu to St. Lucia to establish formal relations with the island and other members of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, which was criticized by a section of Nigerians. The Prime Minister described the act as another demonstration of the harmful effects of the legacy of slavery, self-hate, and a readiness to accept African people and their descendants as inferior. He maintains his country's readiness and commitment towards implementing the Memorandum of Understanding between the two countries.
Vacation and denigration of the President of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, by a politically motivated group, tacitly supported by the opposition party, was another demonstration of the harmful effects of the legacy of slavery, self-hate, and a readiness to accept African people and their descendants as inferior. That behavior was nothing short of shameful and disgraceful. Had the visit been by a head of state from another country, the reception from that group would have been at the least respectful. To the government and people of the Republic of Nigeria, the government and people of St. Lucia have been honored by the visit of your presidents and look forward to establishing and deepening economic, social, and cultural ties with your country.
On that note, to conclude political update today, we'll be back again on Friday. Between now and then, let's play our politics for the greater good, and we keep our eyes peeled to the runoff to the off-cycle elections, by-elections holding on the 16th of August. We'll get them live and direct, courtesy of NTA, Africa's finest and largest, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Between now and then, stay hooked to the NTA. We'll see you then.